Okay, honest question. Have you ever looked at an old plastic bottle and seen, I don't know, a garden sprinkler? Probably not, right? Well, today, we're going to dive into this amazing story of transformation. We're talking about turning what most of us would call trash into some seriously useful treasure. Let's get into it.
So let's just start with this question right here. What if your recycling bin isn't just a bin? What if it's actually a toolbox? You know, a toolbox in disguise, just packed with stuff that's waiting for a new purpose. Kind of flips the script, doesn't it?
And that whole idea leads us perfectly into our first section here. Before we even think about building anything, we've got to kind of shift our thinking a little bit. We're going to really dig into this. How do you train your brain to see treasure where, you've only ever seen trash? So on the one hand, you've got the problem of plastic. We all know this story, right? Use it once and boom, it's waste. But then, on the other hand, there's this promise of upcycling, this awesome idea that the same exact object can have a totally new life. And that's really what this is all about, making that mental leap from problem to potential. All right, so if we're actually going to turn this trash into treasure, who are the heroes of our little story here? Let's meet the materials. And seriously, the best part? You almost definitely have this entire cast of characters just hanging out somewhere in your house right this second. And leading the charge, our main character, our protagonist, a plain old plastic bottle. I mean, think about it. We've all tossed hundreds of these things away without a second thought. But this one, oh yeah, its story is far from over. Of course, every hero needs a solid supporting cast. And for us, that's going to be some leftover PVC pipes, a couple of end caps, and an elbow connector. These guys are going to give us the structure, the connection to the hose. Basically, they're the backbone of this whole operation. And last but not least, the secret weapon. It's just this simple, unassuming plastic strip. But trust me, this little thing is the key that unlocks all the magic. It might not look like much, but this is what's going to give our sprinkler its spin. And that's what's so cool, right? The design is super simple, but its job, absolutely crucial. Okay, our cast is assembled, the stage is set, it's time for the main event. So in this next section, we're going to walk through the transformation step by step. Let's see exactly how these simple pieces come together to make a real working sprinkler. So, everything starts with a little prep and assembly. First things first, super simple. Just get that cap off the bottle. Now, the really important part is step 2. You gotta drill holes in both the bottle cap and one of the PVC end caps. This is how the bottle is going to connect to the whole pipe system. And then you just put them together. That's the core of the whole thing right there, ready to channel the water. Okay, here's a quick pro tip for you, and this comes straight from the person who made it. You know those PVC elbows? Sometimes they can be a really tight fit. If you're struggling with it, don't try to force it. Just grab a screwdriver and use it to gently leverage the pieces together. It's a super simple trick, but wow, it makes a huge difference. All right, now for the really fun part, making it spin. This is where our secret weapon finally gets its moment to shine. You're going to cut that plastic strip into little fan-shaped blades. The trick is to attach them at an angle. That way they'll catch the water and get the whole thing spinning. And hey, while you're at it, why not add some paint? It's optional for sure, but it's a great way to give your new sprinklers some personality. But wait, what if you hook it up and it doesn't spin? Don't worry, it happens. There's a super simple troubleshooting tip for this. 9 times out of 10, it's just an issue with those little fan blades. So try adjusting their length, maybe change up the angle a bit. A tiny little tweak is usually all it takes to get that thing whirling. So after all that cutting, drilling, and putting things together, we've made it. Our bottle's transformation is officially complete. And now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the grand reveal. And there you have it, our hero. That once forgotten plastic bottle is not trash anymore. Not even close. It has been totally reborn as this cool, functional garden tool with a brand new lease on life. And this, right here, might just be the best part of the whole project. The cost. You just made a piece of equipment that actually works for exactly $0. I mean, come on. You just can't beat that. Okay, but let's be real. The big question is, does it actually work? Well, the verdict from the person who came up with it is short, sweet, and to the point. The spinning sprinkler works great. So yeah, it doesn't just look neat, it actually gets the job done. You know, building this sprinkler is awesome, don't get me wrong. But the real treasure here, the thing we've really uncovered, isn't the sprinkler itself, it's the mindset behind it. So let's talk for a minute about what this whole upcycling mindset really is. Because look, at the end of the day,
You haven't just built a sprinkler. You've actually practiced a completely new way of seeing the world. You've trained yourself to look at a pile of what someone else calls junk and see a whole bunch of possibilities. That's the real takeaway.
And once you start looking at the world like that, man, the possibilities are just endless. I mean, look at this list. That same PVC pipe could be a laptop stand or maybe a tool organizer. That old bottle, what if it's a hanging planter or a sink extender for the kids? This way of thinking just unlocks a whole new universe of creativity.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. Now that you've seen how a simple bottle can become something completely new, go take a look at your own recycling bin. Really look at it. What potential is sitting in there? What amazing treasure is just hiding in your trash?